Welcome to our product review of marriage.
Here's my 1 week product review of Human Baby. Major leakage issues and the accessories, that's really get you.
10 years in to having this around. It is worth noting that we're not product experts. We've just had it around for 10 years.
Can we say it has lifetime warranty?
Yeah, I think it does have a lifetime warranty. I like that.
Or like a no return policy.
That's right, no return policy. I like it. You don't have any consumer's remorse, do you?
I don't. Do you?
No, I don't.
It is a really rough product to purchase.
No, actually, it's super easy to purchase. It is super easy to purchase. It takes some growing. It has some great.
Super easy to purchase with a lot of consequences involved.
That's right.
Similar to, we just had 10 baby chickens delivered to our house. Like, literally dropped at our door. Same thing. Super easy to purchase.
That's right.
So I bought it on Tractor Supply Co.
That's
for
right.
like $50.
And then they delivered them in a box, which was nuts.
But like now I gotta take care of these things for the rest of their lives.
Obviously, we're gonna do this in a cheeky, funny way, but I thought it would be interesting just to kind of talk about marriage in a new way. And this is our 10th year anniversary coming up, and what a ride it's been.
I will say, marriage comes with a strong learning curve.
You think so?
Yeah. But unique to any other learning curve I've ever seen. Like the curve is different.
Yeah.
Because it starts high and then it drops real low. And then it's a slow, steady climb back to the top.
I would say of everything that's happened in my life, as soon as I got marriage, it had the biggest impact on my life. It was one of those things that just changes you.
In a positive way?
100%, yes. But, it hurts so good, as John Mellencamp once said,
Yeah.
It hurts so good sometimes.
Yeah. There's a lot of things about it. It exposes every weakness you've ever had in life.
That's right.
Every selfish thought you've ever had.
That's right.
And it kind of says, there ain't no room for that here.
That's right. That's a really good way to say that, actually. See, this is helpful to talk about marriage like a product. It was one of those things that you thought was a finished product when you bought it, but then you realized you're actually just buying the project of it, It's it's not the finish line. When you first get marriage on wedding day.
Do you mean when if you're building a house, it just is never finished? That would be kind of depressing.
There's nothing else like it, so it's kind of hard to come up with an analogy in some ways.
To me, I feel like it's like AI.
What's okay?
That's the closest thing in my brain that I can.
Ow.
Because it just constantly changes. It's good.
Yeah.
It's useful.
Yeah.
It's there.
Okay.
It's smart. It's a great tool. It's never the same.
Interesting. Some days we do love marriage, Some days marriage is fun.
And you should probably just end it there. Yeah. Not finish that.
Well, other days you gotta look yourself in the mirror and be like, I gotta change. Marriage is not changing. I gotta change. If marriage doesn't change, Andrew change.
You think that? When you wake up having a rough day, you look in the mirror and you're like, it's me. I'm the issue. That's what you say? I don't feel like there's many times where we're having a rough time and you're like, you know what? It's my fault.
Oh, when we say we, what do you say we? When we don't do that a lot.
You.
No, just say I. You say I. Marriage.
Do you get better at it? Or does it just kind of constantly just like riding a bike? Do you figure it out at some point? Or are you just constantly graduating the difficulty of terrain you're on?
I think there's levels to marriage. As soon as we started understanding marriage was immovable and it was not changing, and that it's almost like this third thing, it's a third part of the relationship where it's like, okay, well, if I want to love her and protect that, then what needs to change here?
I'm glad you've realized that.
I'm waiting on you two, so.
Same. See, I'm going to go back to the analogy because you love a good analogy. I feel like when we purchased marriage, we're taking training wheels off, just on flat surface. I feel like we are full on Red Bull mountain biking right now.
You got some good analogies today. But we've kind of along the way built suspension on our bike, you know what I'm saying?
We have no suspension. We're just raw dogging.
Oh my gosh, holy smokes, what is happening?
I'm going full Andrew.
When I started viewing you through marriage, it was actually a really fun shift.
Is that a carpenter bee?
Oh no, that's just a bumblebee.
Okay, keep going.
It was really fun to just realize this is the person I love the most, and she's quirky, and marriage kind of acts like your spectacles in that sense, where you're just like, oh, hey, I just love that person for every little bit that they are. But we have to get into it because what we want to do, what we want to do with the marriage product review is talk about the cons, the pros, the unexpected.
We are.
I know, but we got to batch them to help to help people comprehend it.
Because you wrote it out and their brain works that way.
We are just speaking from our experience with marriage. Everyone is different too, so this won't be a full, comprehensive, perfect review, but it will be an honest one, okay?
Babe,
So
we are fully in the thick of the review.
okay.
This isn't an intro anymore.
Okay, well, let's talk about
Some of the pros.
when we walked before we had marriage. What did we expect with marriage?
I expected after the purchase for it to be smooth sailing.
Really?
Romance, ease. This
Yeah.
is my partner.
Yeah.
He knows me. He can
Okay.
read my mind.
Now, would you say that you have gotten the romance and partnership, or have you just changed your definition of those two words, or have you not gotten it?
Or have I lowered my expectations?
Yeah. No, you were rock bottom when we met, baby, and that's why this thing came to be.
I've definitely gotten the romance. The ease is showing up every day. It has not been easy. Does that make sense?
Would you want it to have been?
No, because it's more meaningful because we've gotten through the hard stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's still a lot more.
I think I did have one idea of what I wanted out of marriage.
What was that?
No, just like
What was that?
frolicking, and like travel and adventures and cuddles in the morning and coffees, and then we do. And then we do a lot of other stuff too. We do a lot of other stuff, and not all of it is frolicking, No. I think what I didn't realize is marriage is the doorway to being fully known and fully loved. Once you're through that doorway, the actual process of the depth of getting to know someone, you'll go through some caves that you can't go under them. You can't go under them. You got to go through them,
We went through caves?
So you go spelunking through some stuff.
No, that is hell. We don't.
You're actually talking about...
We've never spelunked in
No, spelunking.
marriage.
I'm not talking about...
Suffocating
This is
each
not a
other.
good analogy because there are some innuendos going on here. I agree. We had certain expectations going into this. We thought marriage equal happy, but now I know that marriage equal meaning.
Okay.
Okay. Transition into the cons of marriage, okay? Now stay tuned
Now
because
let's talk about all the negatives.
there's a plot twist to the cons. There's a plot twist. As you said earlier, it does expose everything,
It does.
which is not a comfortable thing.
No. You try to be two independent people who are just together, and then that works for a while until you actually have to be vulnerable and show every little weakness and flaw, because that's just life. And when you do that, that's freaking scary.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the back of your mind, you're like, if he sees all of this, is he gonna stay?
Which I do think no matter what marriage you get into, that's the case. It's a intimidating process.
If they fully know me, am I still lovable?
Yeah. And there's insecurity, there's baggage, there's old patterns or habits subconsciously that you have that you don't even know about that gets pulled out, and then you got to really change some things. You got egos, and then it brings out everything. And honestly, that can be a good thing, or it can be a dreadful thing,
Yeah,
I think, depending on your approach.
We've shown some rough sides of ourselves, guys.
It's not like this romantic thing where we're I'm going to show you this
No.
deep secret. It's oh no, this is
It comes out in a very ugly way in ugly times.
at inopportune times for sure.
But there is something really cool about, we've been doing our podcast for 7 years where we get to interview all these amazing couples, a lot of which are very a lot farther into their marriage than we are even. And to see the way they look at each other after having been through some of the darkest times of their lives, but having been through it together and seeing that forgiveness and that grace and how they've overcome it, I think is some of the most beautiful levels of marriage you could ever unlock.
Yeah.
And I think we've unlocked some of those levels, but even in the course of what's left of our lives, we'll unlock more, and we will hurt each other more because we're human, and we will, show probably uglier sides of ourselves. But it's you know what? We've been through that, and I know that side, and we know that side, but yet I still show up and I still love you.
You're preaching today. See, so a con actually has a good side to it, Yeah. So even though it does expose everything, that doesn't mean it's fully a con, Another thing that we could put in this list is that it is work.
It's a lot. Today, we had to get over a little tiff, and I had to be
But we got better today. We got better today, and that's the beauty of it.
don't know who's gonna watch this, but I'm just gonna say it. I just kind of was you know what? It's not worth it. I walked out onto the porch naked, sat in your lap, and I
That was
hey.
a straight up tease, by the way.
I was like, let's get past it.
Nothing happened after that, which was the tease part. Marriage does
I
take.
was just distracted.
No,
yeah.
it's good. Marriage does take work, but it's like, it's the best. And if you're able to have marriage around for 70 years, I don't think there's anything better. And again, easy or difficult does not equate to good or bad. And that's one thing I've realized. The other thing about marriage is it's not super easy to leave, you know, which would be a con.
You're not allowed.
That's right.
No, like you.
But the good thing is that forces you to like make changes. So I would say that's the con pro shift.
I've seen Instagram memes of like, I dare them to leave. I will haunt them and make their life.
You resonate with that?
I do.
What's your Instagram feed? I'm so
I
curious about that.
But I will say, the world can say it's pretty easy to leave. But as you would say, the startup cost is greater than the maintenance cost.
That's right.
Even at like some of our lowest point where you're like, you know what, just leave. Say, I don't want to. I don't want to start over. I don't want to date. I don't want any other person in the entire world.
We have a lot of good memories together, and I think we have a lot more to come. And I think we're a really good team.
This is when you say, me
Too.
either.
Me either.
Yeah.
Me either.
Yeah.
But this plays into this one and also the work one. I feel like marriage is not too different than our experience as athletes, where you did 16,000 reps of backflips before you could do a backflip on the balance beam or whatever, you know? Like, and we had hundreds of reps of arguing before we could get to the breakthrough moment of being able to get better like we did this morning. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of cool to think about that, you know, everything takes practice, including marriage and conflict and arguing and treating someone well that you're with every day.
We got full display turkey Tom out here. Thanksgiving turkey. He's behind the tree. Hold on, he's coming out. Where'd he go? You see him?
This is also why we wrote our book, is because we discovered that commitment was a thing that, whether it's athletics or business or parenting or marriage, you kind of just got to say, okay, we're getting into this, and not all of it's going to be pretty or easy, but if I want to get there, then I got to have commitment to take me along the path. So
That's why we wrote the book. We feel very passionately about this. On our wedding day, it was one of the greatest days of our lives, and we thought we were strutting off into the abyss of just beauty and ease. And then we learned all the hard stuff, and we stuck with it. And when anybody comes up and says like, oh, I just wish I could find someone like Andrew, like what you guys have, it's like, you know what? We have worked our arses off to get here.
you're saying so many bad words today.
Is ours?
No, it's not. And by the way, we're still just committing every day. So it's not like we haven't figured out. So that's how we wrote the book. But anyway, the other thing that happens in marriage, another con, is that some of the seasons that we've gone through, like good or bad, you know, some of the good seasons have been years, I feel like. Some of the bad seasons have also been a long time.
Not yours.
Not years, but months.
Months.
And then you're like, oh, is this going to change? Is this phase going to end? And
And it does.
it does.
You stick with it.
Yeah.
Keep working.
The last con is that you can hurt people, you know? And I can hurt you.
And we've hurt each other.
Yeah. And you can get hurt. That's another con.
Yeah.
But I don't think you get to be fully known and fully loved without a little bit of that and a lot of grace and forgiveness. You want to talk about the pros? So we kind of turned the cons into the pros, but we'll also share some more. I feel like the companionship.
Because you find your best friend in life.
There's no one that I have more inside jokes with or understand their body language with or certain eye movements or...
Body language? Is that a thing?
Okay, she's just bringing up. She's bringing up some inside beef. We got inside jokes, but we got inside beef too. I can't imagine my life without you.
Here's something. We live in a world right now where everything is so superficial. You meet someone, you can like be a keyboard Karen. Everything's so like fleeting. You swipe to the next person, you change jobs because you don't like it anymore. And we live in such ginormous social circles with like social media that you never get like really deep connection. There's nobody else. And I will say this, including my parents and my family and my best friends, there's no person in the world who knows me better than you.
No.
And that is a gift to have.
It's a gift? Oh, it's a gift?
It is truly a gift. Because at the end of the day, if I go through something hard, nobody understands it like my husband.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel so much less alone in the craziness of the world. It's pretty good.
I think it's life's greatest adventure, marriage. And there has been so millions of memories, which have been so fun. And I really have been, this is the second con. It's like just the life that you built together.
A con?
No. Oh, sorry. This is the second pro. It's just like the life that you built together. I'm front row seat to your life. I'm like a witness to everything you're doing.
Ditto.
And it's so fun.
As long as you tell me about it.
I don't know what you're talking about. But we got kids, we got a house, we have this marriage, we have this friendship
We got
so
turkey
that we
time and
do.
the 10 chickens. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get some cows.
And we got each other, which is so fun. The third pro is
You got all the cons in your brain.
the third pro to it is how much growth we've experienced.
Yeah.
I say this a lot. There's a lot of people on like Instagram that'll say, wake up at 4 a.m. and take an ice bath and then like challenge yourself, do hard things and run an ultra marathon. And that's how you get better. It's like, no, if you get married and you got to look at this person every day and figure it out, that's how you grow personally.
I would put an asterisk to that.
What?
Because you can get married and not grow. And a lot of times, unhappy, unhealthy marriages are because people aren't willing to grow. If you are willing to get married and work to have a beautiful marriage and like work on each other and work to be better and work to humble yourself, that is the greatest growth you'll ever have.
And I would also actually say that growth isn't even the purpose of marriage. I would say it's like sanctification, you know, like honoring God in whatever way that means in marriage.
But in
honor-
honoring God, you're trying to become the closest to God.
Yeah. But
Which means you're like helping to expose your spouse and yourself to like your flaws and your weaknesses and your insecurities.
But it's a side effect.
It is.
Yeah.
Having the humility to like receive that and give that and God.
I do feel like you will become more, whether you want to or not, if you fully engage. You know, you'll just like you'll get better. Stability's a big pro.
Stability.
And the grounding. Sean keeps me humble. I mean, thank goodness.
Stability's a big one.
But there is something to knowing that
You got your person.
yeah, and every day you will be here when I get home. And that can also be dangerous. There can be a con to that if you get content with that or take that for granted. Complacent. So just
I
something
just
to be
out
wary of.
dictionary you. When has
You're
that
crushing.
ever happened?
What are you saying? You use a ton of words that I don't use, and that's how I love
You're
you.
literally a walking dictionary.
I would say the other pro is all the giggles that you get. Because like you can, depending on the day, like make fun of each other and like laugh about each other's weaknesses and areas
Depending on the day.
yeah. Some days you should not laugh at each other.
Some days you
Or
throw,
with each
throw
other.
a joke and you're like, who?
Should have said that.
Some days not a good
Okay, so then what surprised us? We had expectations going in, cons, pros. Now what surprised us?
Expectation going in, going to be the most beautiful, most amazing thing I've ever done in my life. After the purchase, you're like, oh, frick, what is this that I purchased?
Yeah, there's like, you got to acclimate a little bit.
Yeah. You don't have buyer's remorse, but you're like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
I'd say it's the greatest purchase I've ever made in my entire life. I think this is why I get so sappy and like I just want to like really take a pause on 10 years because life moves so fast. Back at the altar when we met each other, we didn't meet each other at the altar, you know what I mean? Back at the altar before we got married. We had all of these like ideas, but we hadn't even made sense of any of it. We didn't put together a goal for our life. We didn't know what we wanted our life to look like. But like, look at what we've built together. Look at our babies. Everything you've become and like husband you are,
Yeah,
father
you were always great, but I'm like, I'm slowly making progress towards there, you know?
No, I'm bragging. If we hadn't have stuck with it, if we had let one of those low points be the end of us, it's like we wouldn't have this.
Yeah, it's been pretty great. I would say I've been surprised by how different love has looked in different seasons. And I'm excited to continue to learn about you and about love and how to do both better, if you know what I'm saying.
Same, baby.
I would say that I've been surprised at how true some of the funny sayings are, or like the stereotypical sayings are in marriage, like, she's always right. And at first when we got married, I didn't understand that, but now I realized if there is a factual thing that happens that she is wrong about but has feelings about, the feelings are right. Thus she's right. It's so interesting. I'm still wrapping my mind around that.
And vice versa. Meaning we speak different languages and everything that we say is worth listening to. It doesn't have to be factual, but it exposes where we're at on a given day and we can learn a lot about each other.
I would say I've been surprised by how the boring little days or moments really are the best ones. Like when we're just sitting cuddling or having dinner together, it's like when you start stacking years of those, that's what makes it fun. It's like the dumb little things. That's surprising. Also surprising how hard it is to be as strategic in marriage as I am in other areas of my life, whether it be with like my health or my business. It's like that's hard to, because it's more ambiguous and intangible. It's harder to be as strategic in that area, but I think
But beneficial.
but we're figuring it out too. And I would also say it surprised me the responsibility that it is, because if Sean's self-image to a certain extent is dependent on the feedback that I'm giving her, I better be giving freaking accurate feedback that is not biased. That's not like, oh, you're annoying me because you do X, Y, Z, and it's like it's my personal brokenness that is saying that. It's like, oh no, I have to make sure I'm speaking accurate, and that's a responsibility. I take that seriously. Okay. Would you recommend it?
1000%.
I would too.
I think, yeah, I would wish this upon everybody in the world.
Yeah, same. I can't recommend marriage enough, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of good ways to live life. Marriage is definitely one of them.
For sure. Also, I'm not saying if you live life differently that it's not as fruitful. We are incredibly biased to our relationship because I think it's the best.
Yeah. You definitely should do some due diligence before you buy marriage,
Read the reviews.
And I'm saying,
Read the right reviews.
Yeah, know which reviews matter most. And also make sure that you're entering into someone who has a similar, or you're buying marriage with someone who has a similar approach to it, you know?
Yeah.
So that matters a lot. But anyway, that was fun. Sorry if it was ridiculous, but I thought it'd be, you said it was ridiculous.
I love you.
Honestly, those are probably the two most used adjectives that you share with me. Ridiculous and cute. You say that a lot about me. And I'll take it. I love you. Happy 10-year anniversary,
I hope you
babe.
take that as a compliment.
I do.
Because I don't mean it as
do.
a diss.
It's fun to think that this is the whole reason we started YouTube, was when we were documenting our wedding planning process.
Yeah.
Tasting the cakes for our wedding and everything. Yeah, you remember that?
We should go have lunch.
100%. Chef's Market. Yeah, this
Can
is
we do
fun.
this tomorrow?
Yeah, this is fun. We want to fully acknowledge that Sean and I are so spoiled that pretty much we just got to sit and reflect and philosophize with each other and then have y'all join us with that. And I feel like it's been a really fun journey over the last 10 years of doing this, 10 and a half. So thank you for joining the ride. Thank you for building our marriage up and not tearing it down. I do feel extremely grateful and spoiled that corner of the internet that we live in, thanks to you all, has been friendly and supportive. And we've tried to steward that well. So here's to another 10.
Cheers, baby.
Cheers.
Dab it up.
Dab it up.